Hi all. Before we get going with this video, I just wanted to make a very quick apology, for taking so long to get this next video out. It seems to have been, I seem to have been working on this for weeks, but I've really struggled to find the time to do it. But here it is. It's a trip back from the middle of the summer before we actually went on our Abingdon Freeman meet. So here we go, and on these cold winter days and nights at the moment, hopefully this is a little reminder of the summer just gone and the summers ahead. Hi all, welcome aboard Marji Bee. In this video we enjoy a weekend out on a busy River Thames in the summer. We have a lovely night out at Kelmscott and I get to use my horn twice. But we're going to start this video with a bit of a how-to guide, and that's how to safely fill up your boat with petrol. If you have a boat with a petrol engine on the Upper Thames, then invariably you're going to be filling it up with a petrol can. And the safest way we've found to do that is with a jiggle siphon like this. Obviously you're going to have to fill your jerry can up from a petrol station, and I'm fairly sure that the legislation is that you need to have your can labelled as we have here, showing that it's a flammable liquid. But the jiggle pump is a great device. It's basically a tube with a fixture on one end with a one-way valve, so you just jiggle it up and down and eventually the siphoning starts. But the key thing to this whole process is knowing that the fumes from petrol will sink down to the lowest level. So if they get into your cockpit, they will sink down into your bilge. So whenever you fill up with petrol, you must always have your canopy up and all of the side panels in, so that none of those fumes could get into the cockpit and sink down. Because there's only two ways that those fumes will disappear. One is through ventilation, and the second that they will ignite, and you don't want the second thing to happen. But sometimes the most difficult part of the process is getting your filler cap back on again. It's not usually this bad, but I just had a bad day this day. But once that was done, we could start getting Marji Bee ready for a weekend away, and invariably that starts with pumping up the paddleboard. But with the petrol now in and the fumes dispersed, we could safely open the canopy up and get ready to leave. But there are plenty more tasks to do before we leave, like switching the electrics on and petrol on and emptying the weed filter. So I've sped it all up here just to save a bit of time. but eventually we are ready for the off.
Yeah, ready when you are.
And this is always the part of a summer weekend that we look forward to, casting off our lines and heading off for a weekend on the river. And I may be slightly biased, but I don't think there's many more picturesque views seconds from casting off than this. Tadpole Bridge on the Upper Thames.
Yeah. I think it could rain, you know.
Ow. It's not meant to, is it? What the forecast? No, there'll be a fishing map there.
Shouldn't be.
As mentioned earlier, this weekend away happened before our videos of the trip up to Abingdon for the Freeman Owners Meet. This was the end of July, which technically was the middle of the summer, but it's a bit windy here, and it did spit with rain a bit on our way up to Radcot as well. But it did end up being a beautiful weekend away.
Fortunately, there's a tiny little bit of rain in the air. I'm not used to this. We're only fair weather boaters usually. We don't come out. We'll give it a risk today because I think it's actually quite warm still. It is, well, it's 21 degrees. So it's pleasant enough. It's just the right temperature for the boys, to be fair.
We made our way up through Rushy and then up to and through Radcot Lock. I decided after going past the moorings at Radcot to double back and then more up there to have a bite to eat at the Swan at Radcot. And if there's anyone making their way up the Thames, onto the Upper Thames, looking for somewhere to stop overnight or for a bite to eat, this is always a really good spot at Radcot on the meadow, just past the campsite. It's the meadow on the port side heading upstream, as we've never got there and found it too busy to get in. And at this point we saw a couple of paddle boards with dogs on, and Petra takes Parker out, so she had to engage.
Well, these two, but they're quite small, but when your dog moves around you get a bit unbalanced.
Yeah. He's not too bad, he's quite good. Once he settles,
Yeah, it stays put.
But yeah, I'll put on my knees then.
Yeah.
That's right. And he's looking jumping as well.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm sitting down.
Yeah, sensible. Are they light water though, husbands, do they?
These two.
Do they like a bit of swim? Oh.
So we moored up and headed up to the Swan, and I've got to say, A basket meal at the Swan fills a gap beautifully. And it was only at this point that we realised that the river was going to be busy, because we're at the kind of lower end of hire boats coming out of Buscott, and it's lovely to see them, because it's people getting out on the river, enjoying the Thames. And you never know, a hire boater from today could be a boat owner of tomorrow, just like we were 3 years ago. So we always do everything we can to help them enjoy the river.
Coming in there. That's the voice of experience. Yeah.
And my only caveat regarding hire boaters, and this is through experience rather than prejudice, is we'll always let them go into a lock first. And I'm sure they appreciate the reduced stress of that gesture as well.
You can get off there.
But in tandem with that gesture, we always do everything we can to teach hire boaters how to use the locks and the way of the river, and really champion the Upper Thames as a destination. And seeing loads of other boats out on the river was kind of the par for the course this weekend. It was lovely to see so many people out enjoying the river, but it did make us a tad concerned, because we were hoping to moor up at Kelmscott, which is a really popular place to stop, because it's in such a short walk away from the Plough at Kelmscott, which is a lovely pub, and I'd recommend it to anyone. So we came round this corner with trepidation that the mooring may not be free, but we hoped it would be.
I think it looks to me like it's all free.
Yeah then.
So should we head in to the top end where we were last time then?
But our fears were unfounded, because, of course, it's always quiet on the Upper Thames, even when it's busy. So we settled in for a quiet afternoon in the summer sun at Kelmscott. Petra headed off for a paddleboard, whilst I listened to the radio and had a drink. And then we both relaxed in the afternoon with the boys. And one of the most endearing things about Edian Parker is what's not to love about a waggy tail. To be honest, we could be away for 1 minute or 1 hour and the result would be the same with their tails. And I'll be honest, it's moments like this, afternoons like this, in a location like this, on a boat like we have, is what makes it all worthwhile. This is really what we want to do. I often keep saying to Petra that this is our happy place. And I think everyone should have somewhere like that in their lives.
Oh, there's a boat coming.
And as it was just one night away for us, we headed back downstream towards Grafton and Radcot and back home to Rushy.
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
And you may have picked up, if you watch a lot of our videos, that we spend most of our time on the Upper Thames,
it will be a bit hairy, yeah.
between Rushy and Lechlade, but it really is a beautiful part of the river and we love spending time up here. And this is us at Radcot Lock, where we had a quite unusual experience. Nothing untoward to start with. The boys were nice and relaxed. We got there, the lock was empty and Petra filled it and was running around doing what Petra does beautifully and preparing the lock for us to lock down. But you might just be able to see through the lock gates here that there's a couple of boats turning up on the lock landing, and I don't think Petra looks like a lock keeper, but I think they thought she may have been because they took an unusual decision, or one of them did. And this was the first opportunity, I think, that I ever properly used our horn.
Hey! Hey!
I mean, come on. Who goes through when one lock gate's open and doesn't think that there's a possibility that there might be a boat coming down? I don't know. We waved at them on the way out nonetheless.
and put it down to experience. That was interesting. Boat just driving in one lock gate when Petra opened it. We had to beat the horn game to stop. Right.
And so with that fun behind us, we headed on back down to Rushy. We stopped at the top of the lock landing to use the L-sand point there and drop our rubbish off after a weekend away before heading down to our home moorings and admiring a cormorant on the weir posts on the way. But we still had one toot on our horn left in us. We do love Rushy Lock because on our way out for a weekend, as it's so close to our home mooring, passing through it is the sign of heading away, but on the way home it's always tinged with a bit of sadness because we know that our weekend or our trip away is nearly over. So with no further need for our mooring lines, as we've got the mooring strops on our dock, Petra starts to tidy up the front deck. And the next toot on the horn is a friendly toot.
There's Alan and Belinda.
Alan and Belinda were on their dock doing some work on their boat and their dock improvements. So we thought we'd give them a toot to say we're arriving back. And so that's it for another weekend away on Marji Bee. All that's left to do is tidy everything up, get everything off, switch everything off and make sure she's ready for her next adventure. And despite me taking way longer than I really should have done to put this video together for you, we do still have some more footage of weekends away last summer, so there will be some more on the way, along with our kind of final video of the 2025 season, where Marji Bee is craned out for the winter. This was our first experience of craning out, so it was quite an exciting day, and I think it will make for a good video too. So thank you all for joining us on this little trip, and all aboard Marji Bee. We'll see you soon, I'm sure.